Good afternoon. We're here at the Dumb Oliver Acadome. You're listening to the Hornet Sports Network. My name is Daquan Lee, and right now we are getting ready to begin the second game of a two-game homestand for your Alabama State Hornets. It is Alabama State versus the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Alabama State looks to go up and win their second in a row, their third in a row overall. Their first back-to-back wins at home they're looking to obtain. They won last time out January the 11th against Mississippi Valley State. That game, a win, 77-64. Tonight, they look to go on a three-game winning streak against UAPB, who are 1-1 in the conference thus far and look to go 2-1. Pre-game rituals currently going on as we get ready to tip it off here at the Dumb Oliver Acadome. Before we get deep into the game, let's look at a few key things for each team. First, let's take a look at the numbers for Alabama State. Their leading scorer, Ayanna Emanuel, she leads the team at 12 points a game, and right behind her is Taisha Rudolph and Jayla Crawford at 12 points and 10 points respectively. You'll be looking at them to provide most of the offense for the Lady Hornets. And on the opposite end of the table, Kiana Harris and Jayla Atmore lead the Lady Lions in scoring at 10.6 a game and 10 a game respectively. And we're set to tip it off here at the Dumb Oliver Acadome. And UAPB wins the tip. Getting straight to the cup is going to be Jayla Atmore, but she misses the layup, and Alabama State will clean it up. UAPB looking for instant offense right off the bat. Good opportunity, just couldn't convert. Emmanuel off the screen, kicks it out. Courtney Lee off the screen, drive to the basket, floater in the paint is no good. Rebound by Sam Grant. On the drive, another missed layup for UAPB. That miss by El Hassan. So off to a quick pace for the Lions. They've had two opportunities in the paint, but no good on either attempt. On the drive, it's a foul, and Ayanna Emanuel will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Ayanna Emanuel at the year, she's an 85% free throw shooter. She's hit 45 of 53 free throws thus far as she looks to put the first points of the game in. She sinks the first. As I said earlier, Emanuel is the team's leading scorer, and they'll look to her to provide a lot of the offensive output. And she cashes in on 2 free throws, and she breaks the early seal for the Hornets. Alabama State applying a little bit of a pressure situation early. They'll look to really test the ball handlers and trap every so often. Atmore hands it off. Alabama State cuts off the drive by Harris. Off the screen and roll, Atmore. The jumper is no good, but she got fouled on the way up. She'll go up for a pair of free throws at the line. Courtney Lee is going to pick up that foul. That's her first and the team's first. Jayla Atmore, the 5'8" junior out of Winter Haven, Florida. No good on that first free throw. Second free throw is good, and she breaks the seal for the Lady Lions. Atmore on the year, just a 66% free throw shooter. UAPB applying more pressure in the half court. Emmanuel, top of the key. Takes the screen, hands it off to Courtney Lee. Lee directing traffic. Deep post position, and that's good defense by UAPB. That shot is blocked by Sam Grant. 6'4" freshman. Drive to the basket, no good by Kiana Harris. Stout defense, and Alabama State is out on the break. And Courtney Lee cannot capitalize on the layup. Another good rebound by Sam Grant. On the drive, Noelle Taylor. She'll put in the layup. It's only the first field goal for UAPB, but they take the early lead with less than 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Slow start for both teams offensively, but Alabama State has tended to be more of a second half team. Deep down low post for Victoria, and that ball will be out of bounds. Victoria Harvey trying to establish low post position. Deep inbound pass, and no good on the finish. Offensive rebound is good, and Courtney Lee finds her first 2 points of the afternoon. Kiana Harris playing patiently. Good down low pass. Sam Hassan's going to get called for the travel. Checking in for the Hornets, Armani Smith. She tends to be the primary ball handler when she comes in the game off the bench. Not a starter, but contributes to the team often.
Let them know. Tell them that
Hornets running through Emmanuel, and she draws the foul, and she will be at the line for 2 more. Emmanuel good on her first free throw. She won't miss too many of those. Again, she's an 85% free throw shooter at the line. She's good for 2. And the Hornets have a 7-3 lead. 6:43 remaining in the first quarter. Again, both teams off to a slow start defensively. Elbow jumper. Well short, that shot by El Hassan. Offensive rebound. Mid-range jumper no good by Kiana Harris, and Alabama State cleans up the miss. That jumper no good by Taisha Harris. Offensive rebound and a fight for a loose ball, and it'll be a jump ball call. The possession will remain Alabama State's. Taisha Rudolph, the 5'9" sophomore out of Evergreen, Alabama. Fight for the loose ball. And that foul call will go against Emmanuel, her first. And Jayla Crawford's also going to come in for the Hornets. Emmanuel will take a rest. Carelessness with the ball, and UAPB turns it over.
Look, you must see the look in my face like, look, something wrong.
Armani Smith bringing the ball up past half court. In the corner, Taisha Rudolph. Down low pass to Victoria Harvey. Dangerous pass, and it goes out of bounds. However, it will remain Alabama State basketball. A couple substitutions for Alabama State. Courtney Lee and Ayanna Emanuel will check back in. So short rest for Emanuel. Jayla Crawford finds Courtney Lee. Swings it to Armani Smith. Smith drives to the lane and draws a foul just before the shot clock expires. That foul will go against Catherine Darden, the 5'11 senior. So 20 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time for the Hornets to work with. Good down low pass with a forced shot. Emmanuel gets stuffed at the rim. UAPB playing fast. And Jayla Atmore gets called for the travel. Another turnover for UAPB. Both teams shooting a dismal 16 and 14% thus far. Alabama State 1 of 7, UAPB 1 of 6. Armani Smith kicks it out. Jayla Crawford thought about the three. Finds Emmanuel at the elbow. Emmanuel, pull-up jumper short. Fight for the loose ball. Armani Smith had it for a second, but she did not establish position in bounds before touching it. It'll go to the Lady Lions, and we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where the Hornets have an early 6-3 advantage against the UAPB Lady Lions. Both offenses off to a slow start. Alabama State shooting just 12% and UAPB shooting 16% as the jumper finally falls for UAPB. That shot by Trustee Chotton, 5'10 junior out of Edibina, Mississippi. Ayanna Emanuel double team, but she gets it to Courtney Lee's hands. Kicks it out. Emmanuel for three. No good. Offensive rebound for Derecia Randall, and they call a jump ball. Officials will give the possession to University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Derecia Randall just now checking in for the Lady Hornets for the first time. Officials stop the clock. Not sure what the issue was specifically, but we'll get that worked out. It will remain UAPB ball. Harris directing traffic. Totten surveying. Handoff for the foul. That foul is going to go against Jayla Crawford. That's her first. Team's third. Noelle Taylor swinging. El Hassan in trouble at the elbow. Kicks out. 8 seconds on the shot clock. On the dribble drive. Floater's well short. Offensive rebound. Also short for Kiana Harris. A third offensive rebound. There is a lid on the rim right now for the UAPB Lady Lions. Another jump ball situation, and the Hornets will take possession. Taisha Rudolph is going to check in for Courtney Lee. So the slow start on offense for both teams apparent with 3:34 left in the first quarter. However, Alabama State has been scoreless the last 3 minutes of competition. Hannah White has checked in for the Hornets as well. Lady Lions applying pressure. Hannah White surveying, takes her opponent off the drive. Floater is up and good. Her first shot of the evening is cash. Quick three off the mark. Alabama State cleans up. Almost a turnover. That'll be over and back. Dangerous pass. Taisha Rudolph a little careless with the rock. Alabama State can tend to get themselves in trouble with turnovers at times. Tough, strong defense by Alabama State, but it's going to be a foul call. That foul on Derisha Randall. At the line for the Lady Lions, it'll be Khadijah Brown. 6'3" center.
Substitution into the game, number 34, Victoria Harden.
At the line, shooting two, Chastity Totten. A 74% free throw shooter on the year, and she's no good on the first. The second free throw is good. Substitution for the Lady Lions. Catherine Darden will check in. Emmanuel will inbound and gets that pass intercepted. It'll be a foul on the drive. Emmanuel with her second, and Jayla Atmore will be at the line to shoot a pair. That's great awareness by Atmore to intercept that pass and put herself in a position to put 2 points potentially on the board for the Lady Lions, who have struggled to find their shot thus far. Atmore on the season, a 66% free throw shooter as she cashes in the first. Second free throw is good. 2:46 remaining in the first quarter here at the Donna Oliver Acadome. This is the second game of a two-game homestand for the Hornets. Their last game, a win against Mississippi Valley State. Hannah White taking her time. 13 on the shot clock. Tied up. Jumper by Rudolph is no good. UAPB out on the break. Harris off the screen. Cross-court pass. A wide open shot. Atmore, no good. And the Hornets move fast. That three ball no good by Jayla Crawford. And Atmore will come up with the rebound. Outlet pass, too strong. And it finds an open player, but misses the bunny. Musa, who's checked in for the first time, couldn't convert. Jayla Crawford on the drive. Good dump-off pass. And an easy two. Anaya Smith cashing in on the dime by Jayla Crawford. On the drive, Musa kicks out. Atmore on the drive. Pull-up jumper. No good. Strong rebound by Courtney Lee. And Hannah White will push it. Drive to the rim. It's good. Alabama State finding a little bit of offense in transition. Alabama State up 3 in the early parts of this game. Though Alabama State has struggled to find their shooting range as they give up the open three. Kiana Harris on that one. They found a lot of their success thus far inside the paint and in transition. Harris is going to pick up the foul on that one. That's just the second three-pointer for Pine Bluff. Looking at the rebound advantage, it's about even. Alabama State has a 1 rebound advantage to UAPB's 10. Alabama State has 11. UAPB has 1 more offensive rebound than Alabama State. White finds Victoria Harvey, and she steps out of bounds. Turnover on Alabama State's part. It gives UAPB a chance to tie, or take the lead, with 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. UAPB struggling to find the inbound, but a gamble on the steal leads the lane wide open. Well defended by Harvey. And she cleans up the miss. Hannah White and the Hornets will have the shot clock off for one last opportunity to score. Armani Smith. Ten seconds left on the clock. That should get started at around 7 seconds. Takes her defender off the dribble. Shot is short at the rim. Fight for the loose ball, and it will be the Lady Lions with 2.3 remaining on the clock. Lady Lions will have 1 more attempt to get a shot off. Maybe three-fourths court heave. A couple substitutions for UAPB as well. Jilla Atmore will check in for Noelle Taylor. Deep pass. She gets the shot off. And head coach Don Brown is calling for the foul. But that will be it for the end of the first quarter. The Alabama State Hornets and the UAPB Lady Lions will be tied at 12 apiece when we return on the Hornet Sports Network. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where we're all dead knotted at 12 apiece as we begin the second quarter. Both teams struggle to find their shot in the first quarter. Alabama State shooting just 26%, and the Lady Lions shooting 18%. Off the pass, that's a three-pointer that's off the mark by Jana Anderson as she checks into the game for the first time. UAPB will get a second chance. Alabama State has found a little bit of rhythm, or at least they did towards the end of the first quarter in the paint. They scored 6 points there as well as in transition. It's been their bread and butter. They've got half their points from there thus far. However, they turned the ball over 4 times. Another three off the catch. No good. Fight for the loose ball, and that'll be another jump ball. Alabama State will gain the possession. Nia Smith on the receiving end of that jump ball. And limping a little bit, but she seems as though she's going to try to play it off. Pass almost intercepted off the inbounds. Courtney Lee driving to the rim. Layup, no good. Victoria Harvey on the offensive glass, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2. It's a big body down low for Alabama State University, and they need that. Harvey at the line, just a 58% free throw shooter on the year, 7 of 12 thus far. Averaging 4 rebounds on the season. The first free throw is good. Victoria Harvey gave good minutes against the win against Mississippi Valley State. She came away with 12 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, and 8 points that game. She's off on the second free throw. Pass is stolen. Jayla Crawford. Pass to Courtney Lee, and she makes good on the layup. That's good defense turning into offense for Alabama State as they get out on the break and capitalize on another turnover by UAPB. Harris. Pass to Atmore. Back to Harris. Finds Hassan. Lady Lions swinging around the perimeter, trying to beat the zone. Shot clock winding down. And that floater by El Hassan is good. That ends the scoring drought for the Lady Lions. Closely contested game thus far with 8:31. Each entry pass is stolen. And Atmore working on Crawford. Courtney Lee, excuse me. Elbow jumper, no good. Offensive rebound. Pass goes straight back. And Hassan cashes in for 2 on the jumper. Hannah White set to check back in for the Hornets. Good pass, good find by Taisha Rudolph. And Jayla Crawford will get hammered on the layup attempt. She'll be at the line to shoot a pair.
Substitution into the game, number 24, Hannah White. Shooting 2, number 3, Jayla Crawford.
These will be Crawford's first attempts of the evening as she's off on the first free throw. She'll be looking to tie with this next one. And she does not. Loose ball tipped to UAPB. Alabama State working with the zone again. Lions swinging, looking to poke in. Entry pass, working at the elbow. Shot is blocked, sent away hard. Keani Berry on that block, and Jayla Crawford will be at the line to shoot another pair of free throws. That's good defense leading to offense once again for the Hornets. That block by Berry sends the Hornets in transition, and they capitalize. Well, I guess I should say Crawford gives the Hornets an opportunity to capitalize with 2 attempts at the free throw line. Jayla Crawford on the year, a 70% free throw shooter. She does contribute a bit of offense for the Hornets. She averages up about 11 points a game. No good on the first free throw. She'll have another attempt to tie it on this one. And she ends the drought. We're all knotted up at 16 apiece. Lions making the Hornets move in the zone. Working at the top of the key. And Todd's going to get called on the travel. The Lions playing patient in the half court, probing and looking to see how the Alabama State defense reacts and how the ladies move within their zone. The Lions in the zone themselves, and Jayla Crawford couldn't make them pay. Offensive rebound, though, and there's going to be a foul on the pass out. Hannah White, the recipient of that foul.
Foul on block 4, shooting 2, number 24, Hannah White.
They say she was in the shooting motion, so Hannah White will be at the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws. That free throw is good. Hannah White on the year, just a 61% free throw shooter. She drains the first. No good on the second, but an offensive rebound by Courtney Lee. Kick out. Hazy pull-up jumper is good. Jayla Crawford once again starting to find a little bit of her rhythm. Elbow jumper. Too strong. Fight for the loose ball. And Berry will come up with the loose ball. Hannah White, 3-1 fast break. Kick out attempt. Deflected, but the 3 ball still goes up. Jayla Crawford on the offensive rebound goes up, and she powers through the defense for 2 more. Crawford is showing a little bit of aggression here. She's become the spark that Alabama State has needed, and they're off on a 6-0 run in the past 2 minutes. UAPB has seen enough. They'll call a timeout, and we will be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network after this timeout. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where the Hornets have a 5-point lead in the second quarter with 6:13 remaining. This is the largest lead of the evening. The Lady Lions led briefly when they had a 16-15 lead. Hannah White has given the Hornets a spark off the bench. The Hornets currently on a 6-0 run as the Lions look to break the zone. Pull-up three with a shot clock winding down, no good. Hornets corral the rebound, and they look to take advantage. Hannah White on the drive, probing through traffic, and she'll slow it up. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Derisha Randall has checked in for the Hornets, as is Taisha Rudolph. Ball poked away. Harris, dump off pass, and the dime is good. Noelle Taylor will clean up that fast break with a bucket as they cut into that deficit. That stops a 6-0 run by Alabama State. Hornets get into their sets. Courtney Lee, foul line jumper, too strong. And that rebound will go to Jana Anderson. Drive to the basket, no good. But there'll be some free throws. At the line will be Shakitra Tilley, the 5'10 senior out of Tyler, Texas. She'll be at the line for her first attempts of the evening.
Shooting two. Substitution into the game, number 22, Taylor Akerson.
At the line this season, just a 25% free throw shooter, 2 of 8 on the year. Unfriendly rim on that first attempt. She'll have one more attempt, though. Second attempt is good. Substitution for UAPB, Amunsa has checked in. The Lady Lions applying full court pressure. Courtney Lee surveying the court. Courtney Lee wants it. She wants to direct traffic for the Hornets. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time to work with. Passes Taisha Rudolph. Rudolph, crossover, swings it. On the drive, Akerson, no good. Fight for the loose ball. And UAPB will gain possession. Taylor Akerson is checked in for the first time this evening. Hornets in the zone again. Setting off ball screens. Drive into the lane. No good. Offensive rebound. And second chance points coming to the Lady Lions. Hornets have been scoreless over the past 2 minutes, just 1 of 4 in their last 4 attempts. Pass almost intercepted, poked away, and Tilly couldn't save the ball. It will remain Hornet basketball, of course. Armani Smith and Jayla Crawford will check back in. Jayla Crawford had an outstanding game against Mississippi Valley State. She put up a season-high 22 points, 8 of 15 shooting, and 3 of 7 from three-point land, and a solid win for the Alabama State Lady Hornets. On the inbound, Courtney Lee finds a wide-open Taylor Akerson, and she couldn't make him pay. Fight for the loose ball. Jump ball. Officials signaling that they'll give it to UAPB. And they will. Kiana Harris, top of the key, swings it, and she's going to get called for the travel. That's Jana Anderson, 5'4" junior out of Santa Clara, California. Courtney Lee. Finds Barry at the top of the key. Nia Smith, excuse me. And she hits the pull-up jumper. Akerson. Switches on the screen. Driving to the lane. Floater. Too strong. Loose ball situation. And it'll be a jump ball. Alabama State ball.
Jump ball. White ball.
That's good. That's a good hustle by both teams. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the half. Alabama State clinging to a 2-point lead thus far. Leading the Lady Hornets in scoring right now is Nia Smith. She has 6 points, 3 of 4 shooting. Her and Jayla Crawford are tied with rebounds for 4 apiece. The rebounding advantage slowly going in their favor. Alabama State has 21 to UAPB 16. On the drive, it's Taylor Crawford, and she draws a foul, a blocking foul. That foul is going to go on Catherine Darden, her second.
Foul on black 31, shooting 2, number 3, Jayla Crawford.
Crawford at the line shooting 2. She drills the first.
First basket good.
Going back to that game she had against Mississippi Valley State, she was very aggressive and she chose her spots well. She found opportunities and spots on the floor, and with a plethora of assists that Emmanuel and Smith were handing out in the previous game, she capitalized well and came away with a pretty great game. UAPB looking for entry passes. That pass read and intercepted. Jayla Crawford blocked, but a foul. And this is the same aggression that she showed the last home game against Mississippi Valley State. She'll be at the line to shoot another pair of free throws. She's been the real spark plug for the team thus far. She led a 6-0 run earlier by the Hornets, and she continues to apply pressure. That first attempt is good. Short on the second free throw, but an offensive rebound by Alabama State leads to second chance points. Courtney Lee on that rebound and put back. On the drive, it's Tilly. Oof. And we're going to have a clean-up situation here. I believe a red light got knocked, and we're going to have probably going to have to take a timeout so officials can clean up the spot and make sure there's no glass anywhere on the court. I didn't have the eyes to see what exactly fell, but certainly a dangerous situation. And oh, yeah, the light behind the backboard got knocked out, and we'll have to take a little bit of a break to get that off the ground. We'll be back with a short intermission after this. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network. We had to take a short break because the red light behind the backboard got knocked down and shattered some glass on the court, and of course they had to get that up before anybody could continue to play. We don't want any kind of hazards to take place. It could be a dangerous situation. But at the line, shooting a pair of free throws is going to be Shakidra Tilley, 5'10" forward. Tilley on the season, just 25% free throw shooter coming into this game. She drills that first free throw. Second free throw was good, and she cuts this deficit to 5 with 2:10 remaining in the first half. That ends a 7-0 run by the Lady Hornets. That'll be a reach and foul. Armani Smith, the recipient of that. And she will get a pair of free throws. Hornets in the bonus.
Shooting free throws, number 2.
Armani Smith on the year, averaging 3.8 points a game. 2.5 rebounds a game, and has a total of 18 assists on the year. First free throw attempt, no good. She shoots just 22% from the line on the year. Second free throw gets a friendly bounce, and that one falls. She now has 6 points on the evening. Oh, excuse me, that's her first point of the evening. On the drive, El Hassan drills it for 2. Lady Lions slowly cutting into the lead, and that turnover doesn't help. Wild pass. 2-on-2 fast break, pull-up jumper, blocked. But offensive rebound. Another blown opportunity, and Noelle Taylor will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Great hustle by the Lady Lions, and they will be rewarded with an attempt to tie this game after a pair of 2 free throws. Slow turnover by Alabama State leads to 2 opportunities for the Lady Lions to be as close as they have been all evening since they led 16-15. Shooting numbers for both teams starting to pick up just a tad bit. Hornets still shooting 34%. The Lady Lions are picking up at 28% on the evening. Alabama State has yet to make a three-pointer thus far. They're 0 of 6. The Lady Lions have shot 2 of 8. Harris and Tilton have made those 2 threes. A loose ball that'll go to Alabama State. That ball last touched by Taylor, the officials say. Hannah White double team, gets it to Courtney Lee. Courtney fumbles the ball. Jayla Crawford there to save her. 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Entry pass, dangerous, but it's saved. Hannah White finds Jayla Crawford in the corner. Crawford in trouble. Good penetration, good dime, and good finish. That's great ball movement by Alabama State. And Anaya Smith continues to lead the Hornets in scoring. She's 4 of 5 with 8 points on the night. Less than a minute remaining in the first half. And that'll be another travel, that call against Shakidra Tilley. Two-for-one opportunity for the Lady Hornets. should they choose to capitalize on that. Lady Lions applying pressure. Jella Crawford on the pull-up. Free throw line jumper. That's good. Crawford now leads the Hornets in scoring with 10. Driving into that double team. It'll be Tilly again. It's back-to-back turnovers for the Lady Lions. And it's giving the Hornets momentum as they in the half on a strong run. The Hornets have found the rhythm. They've made 4 of their last 5 attempts. Still no three-pointers, though, but they haven't needed them. They found their money within the paint. Whitney Lee, dangerous pass and a turnover. Shot clock off. Outlet pass is good. Too far off the feet of Noelle Taylor, and Alabama State will have one last opportunity to score before the end of the first half. Lady Lions applying more pressure. Jella Crawford on the drive. Kicks it out. Plenty of time, 10 seconds remaining. Smith finds Crawford. Crawford on the crossover. Jumper well short. Offensive rebound, no good, and that'll be the end of the first half. The Hornets lead UAPB 33-28. Jayla Crawford led the way with 10 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 4 of 8 at the line. Anaya Smith was right behind her in scoring at 8 points, 4 of 5 shooting, 5 rebounds. And the Hornets close the first half on a good note. They'll come out of the halftime break and look to carry that momentum into another strong outing as they look to win 3 in a row here at the Don Oliver Acadome. We'll be back with more after halftime. You're listening to the Hornets Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network. My name is Daquan Lee, and you're tuned in to a Alabama State lead where Jayla Crawford has led the way for most of the afternoon. The Hornets currently lead 33-28, and she's done most of her work in the second quarter. Hornets have a little bit of an advantage on the glass. They lead the Lady Lions 23-18 with 8 offensive rebounds and 15 defensive rebounds. Turnovers have been sort of a problem for both teams. The Lady Lions had 10 in the first half to Alabama State's 8. However, Alabama State has done most of their damage in the paint. They have 14 total paint points. However, UAPB has kind of followed their path in that same way. They have 12 points in the paint themselves. One of the glaring issues for Alabama State thus far, 2 of them that I would mainly point out to, Alabama State has yet to make a three-pointer in the afternoon, and Ayanna Emanuel has gone quiet in the game. She has just 4 points, 0 for 3 from the field, and only 7 minutes of action. And Jayla Crawford has done most of the heavy lifting for her in her absence. Her and Anaya Smith have paved the way for this Alabama State lead. The largest lead of the afternoon was 7, where they led 28-21. UAPB had a short lead where they led 16-15 earlier in the second quarter. The lady leading the way for UAPB has been Noelle Taylor, 5'8", Noelle Taylor, the 5'8" senior. She has 7 points on the evening, 3 of 5 shooting. Just 2 rebounds for her as well. She's gotten some help as well from Aya El Hassan, the 5'11" senior. She has 6 points on the afternoon, 3 of 5 shooting. Just 4 assists for Alabama State and 3 for UAPB this afternoon. Courtney Lee has dished 2 thus far. And Taisha Rudolph has an assist as well. The Hornets have been to the line pretty frequently this afternoon. They have 18 attempts thus far. They've cashed in on 11 of them. But we'll be back to begin the second half here at the Don Oliver Acadome. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the beginning of the second half here at the Dunlop Acadome, where the Hornets have a 5-point lead after one half of action. Jayla Crawford led the way with 10 points for the Hornets, followed by Anaya Smith with 8 points. The nice alley-oop by UAPB has them on the board first. That bucket by Aya El Hassan. Her and Noelle Taylor led the way offensively for the Lady Lions. That pass almost intercepted. Taisha Rudolph kicks it out to the corner. Ayana Emanuel, no good on the three. Good closeout defense. Harris on the drive, no good, but it will remain Lions basketball. Kiania Harris has been the leading scorer for the Lions this season, but her game has been off offensively tonight. She's just 1 of 6 from the field, 3 points. She does have 2 steals, however, in 19 minutes of play and an assist. Elbow jumper, no good. Offensive rebound. Second attempt is good off glass. Catherine Darden has the Lions up 4-0 to begin this second half, and the lead has been trimmed to just a single point. Emmanuel, top of the key, swings to Courtney Lee. Victoria Harvey on the screen. Block, but a foul. Courtney Lee will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. That foul will go against Aya El Hassan. That'll be her 3rd foul of the game. Crawford no good at the line. She's now shooting 4 of 9 thus far. Oh, excuse me, that was just her first free throw of the game. She's 0 for 1. 0 for 2 after a pair of missed free throws. Lions moving in transition, but it'll be a turnover. Noelle Taylor loses the ball, and Alabama State will have an opportunity to collect themselves. Head coach Don Brown not happy about the careless turnover on their part. Lady Lions applying more pressure. Taisha Rudolph draws a foul on the double team. Head coach Brown protesting vehemently. That foul call will go against Noelle Taylor. Just her 2nd.
Substitution into the game, number 3, Jayla Crawford.
Checking in for Alabama State, it'll be Jayla Crawford to inbound. Well, excuse me, Ayana Emanuel will be inbounding. Should have been a kick ball off the loose ball for Jayla Crawford, but UAPB capitalizes. That'll be Noelle Taylor on the bucket. Courtney Lee in trouble, facing a double team. Drives into the paint. Pass is intercepted. Outlet pass. Nobody to beat. It'll be Taylor again. And head coach Frida Freeman Jackson has seen enough. We'll take a timeout with them. Hornets lose the lead. We'll be back on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network. The Lady Lions have come out on fire to start the second half. They've outscored the Hornets 8-0 to begin the second half. They're shooting 4 or 5 from the field, and the Hornets have shot themselves in the foot. They have 2 turnovers to start, and it's led to a lot of fast break points. All 8 of the points coming off transition and the mistakes of Alabama State. Full court pressure situation has been successful, as you see the deflection out of bounds there by Taylor. Taylor herself has had quite the start to the second half. She scored the last 4 for the Lady Lions. This is the first lead for UAPB in this game following an early 16-15 lead. Hannah White on the drive, in trouble, forces a shot. Stout defense by the Lady Lions, and they'll gain possession. Alabama State has come out flat in this second half, and they need to collect themselves. They've given up this lead with just under 8 minutes remaining. Harris loses the ball, gathers herself. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. There's an entry pass, but there was a foul on the entry pass. Catherine Darden, the recipient of that foul. That foul will be on Anaya Smith, her first. Off the screen. Corner pass. Jumper off the side of the backboard. Offensive rebound. UAPB. Harris on the drive. Pull-up jumper. Gets the bounce. UAPB lead has been pushed to 5 thus far. And the Lady Lions are feeling themselves. They smell blood in the water. And the Hornets have no answer thus far. They've been scoreless the past 3 minutes of play. And they still have yet to make a three-pointer. Off-ball foul against Shakidra Tilley. Head coach Frida Freeman-Jackson, sensing the sense of urgency that her team needs, she inserts Jayla Crawford. Courtney Lee will take a break. Emmanuel. Jumper no good in the corner. That shot off by Anaya Smith. Hornets struggling to find their footing in their second half, and the Lady Lions have been all over it. Harris, kick out pass to Taylor. Taylor finds herself in trouble. On the drive, in the lane, draws the foul. And Shakidra Tilley will be at the line shooting 2. UAPB has been very aggressive to start this second half, and Alabama State doesn't know how to respond. In this third quarter, the Hornets have been outscored 10-0. They've only gotten up 2 shot attempts thus far in the quarter, and UAPB is just walloping them. They're shooting 5 of 7 in the third quarter, 71%. Hornets need a good, strong defensive stand as the second free throw is no good. And the Hornets get called for another turnover. The traveling will just have them reeling right now. That turnover against Ayana Emmanuel, her third. She just has not been able to put it together this game. She's only tallied 10 minutes thus far, and she's only gotten 4 points, 0 for 4 from the field. She does have 4 attempts at the free throw line where she's cashed in on all of her attempts. And down to Harris. Harris penetrating. Floater in the paint. Too strong. Offensive rebound, UAPB. Kick out. And Taylor couldn't handle it. So a strong defensive showing by Alabama State to force the turnover. And let's see if they can get their wits together. Armani Smith and Hannah White have checked in. Armani Smith loses the ball, gets the turnover, and fouls in frustration, it seems. She understands it's her foul, and Alabama State is slowly losing their composure as the Lady Lions have their largest lead of the evening.
Substitution into the game, number 1, Taisha Rudolph.
Taisha Rudolph is checked in for the Hornets. Harris swings it to Taylor. Back to Harris. Tilly. The entry pass is denied, and the referees will call it kick ball. Derecia Randall's going to check in for Anaya Smith. Excuse me. Ayana Emanuel will have a seat instead. So Alabama State going with a bit of a bigger lineup here. Derecia Randall good for some boards, and they need size. The rebounds are split dead even at 24 apiece right now. And head coach Frida Freeman Jackson is looking to see how she can stop the bleeding. Alabama State still has not scored in this third quarter, and UAPB is on an 11-0 run that spans almost 5 minutes. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Entry pass down low. It's good, and the attempt will fall. Catherine Darden with the basket there. Good for 2. Three-pointer in the corner, no good. UAPB has Alabama State rattled right now, and Freeman Jackson is looking for answers. Hannah White will take a seat, and Courtney Lee will check in for her. This is the largest lead, of course, for the Lady Lions. Noelle Taylor now leads the Lady Lions in scoring with 11 points on the evening as you see her driving to the paint. Layup is no good, but it will remain UAPB ball. Arkansas Pine Bluff has had their fingerprints all over the second half, and Alabama State just cannot find the offensive groove needed to just stop the bleeding, and I cannot stress that enough. They need to get out in transition. Harris wide open for 3. And that'll be her second three-pointer of the evening. She now has 8 points and 3 steals to go along with her evening. Courtney Lee directing traffic. Dangerous pass. Crawford finds Anaya Smith, and she banks in the three-pointer. Finally a bucket to begin the second half. Just 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and Alabama State is just now scoring. That ends a 16-0 run by the Lady Lions. Reverse layup, no good. And we'll have a media timeout. We'll be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network. If you're just now tuning in, the Hornets have succumbed to a large third quarter outburst by the Lady Lions. They have squandered their lead, and the Lady Lions sit with an 8-point lead with 4:34 remaining in the third quarter. Alabama State has just 3 points in the third quarter after an Anaya Smith three-pointer, their first of the evening. And they've really struggled to find their footing here in the third quarter, and the Lady Lions have pounced all over that. After the turnover by Rudolph, it's UAPB ball. Harris swings it, jab step, back to Harris. Harris on the penetration, elbow jumper. It's good. So Harris is finally starting to show her range and find her rhythm in this game. She was held to a quiet first half. She now has 10 points. Courtney Lee calling out directions. And Courtney Lee is going to get called for the turnover, a charge. That's just her second foul, but it is her third turnover. Alabama State is just one of their last 5, and the only field goal that was made was that Anaya Smith 3. Smith continues to lead the way for the Hornets in total in terms of points for the team. She has 11. As you see the steal there, tough layup, but the offensive rebound by Emmanuel. It'll remain Alabama State ball. So some strong hustle points for Ayana Emmanuel. It's been a quiet afternoon for her thus far. Still just 4 points. Her only points coming off of 4 free throws. She's drained all 4 of her attempts.
Substitution into the game, number 24, Hannah White.
Hannah White is going to check in for Derisha Randall. You get the good layup by Ayana Emmanuel. Just her first field goal of the afternoon. Let's see if that'll get her started. Ooh, they get away with a bad travel. And UAPB draws another foul. Aya El Hassan will be at the line shooting 2. She's made 4 of her last 5 field goal attempts, and she's up to 8 points on the evening. These will be her first free throws of the evening. On the season, El Hassan averages just over 7 points a game, almost 8. She makes about half her free throws, shooting 52% on the season coming into this game. She drills the first. Second free throw, no good. Armani Smith comes up with a loose ball. UAPB caught her in a trap. Hannah White pushing, drives into the lane. She draws the foul, and the buckets. A much-needed basket for Alabama State by Hannah White. Hannah White now up to 7 points on the evening, 3 of 3 from the field. She had 2 attempts at the free throw line earlier, making just 1 of the 2. White no good on the and 1 attempt. And UAPB corrals the loose ball. Alabama State applying pressure. Harris on the drive. Corner pocket pass. And that's a 3 ball. El Hassan has really found her rhythm and range. Lions match her largest lead of the night. Pass almost intercepted by Taylor. Crawford on the drive. Basket will not count. They'll call it a charge. Another turnover against Alabama State.
Offensive foul.
You get the sense that head coach Frida Freeman Jackson would like to see more of an aggressive stance by Jayla Crawford. She had an outstanding outing last game against Mississippi Valley State. Had her season high 22 points. Jayla Crawford on the evening, 10 points, 3 of 8 shooting. Oh! A hard fall, a hard foul. Armani Smith took the hard fall there. She seems to be all right. Oh, excuse me. Armani Smith is going to get called for the foul. And she took a rough part of that one. At the line, shooting a pair of free throws. Both teams in the bonus. It'll be Aya El Hassan. Her and Noelle Taylor lead the Lady Lions in scoring at 11 apiece on the evening. That first free throw is good. Both teams shooting in the high 40s in field goal percentage. Lady Lions shooting 39%. The Hornets shooting 38%. Armani Smith, dangerous pass. Loose ball situation. And UAPB is going to have possession of this ball. It'll be another jump ball.
Jump ball. White ball.
Oh, man, Hornets get bailed out there. They're going to say it's Hornet basketball.
Substitution into the game. Number
Hassan was all over that after the dangerous pass by Armani Smith.
After the jump ball, black ball.
No, the referees do change it to UAPB ball. Harris, outlet pass, corner pocket, unfriendly rim, and Alabama State cleans up in transition. Jayla White, hesitation. She draws the foul, and she'll be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. However, she's made just half of them in 8 attempts, 4 of 8 on the evening.
Foul on black one. Shooting 2.
That foul will go on Kiania Harris. This is what Alabama State needs if they want to get back into this game. They haven't gotten out in transition, and they haven't gotten easy buckets that will start with their defense. And they haven't had enough of this. Crawford sinks the first free throw and cuts the lead to 10. Before that free throw, the Lady Lions had their largest lead of the afternoon, standing at 11 points. Arkansas Pine Bluff has outscored Alabama State 23-8 in this third quarter. That three by Harris, too strong. Hornets secure the loose ball. Taisha Rudolph. Good passing by Alabama State. Anaya Smith. She continues her impressive performance this afternoon. Oh, that's definitely a double dribble, and the referees are on top of that one. So Alabama State starting to force some turnovers. And we're going to take a timeout after this. We'll be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back. UAPB has an 8-point lead with just under 2 minutes remaining in this game, in this third quarter. On the drive, El Hassan scores again. She has put her foot down in this third quarter. She leads all scorers with 15. Hannah White on the drive. Hannah White on the drive, and she'll draw the foul, and she'll be at the line to shoot a pair.
Foul on Black 31, shooting 2.
Head coach Brown is leaning on El Hassan to take her team to victory, and she's doing just that, carrying a heavy load thus far in the third quarter. Alabama State, though, starting to find their groove in the third quarter, albeit a little late. They've made 4 of the last 5, still just 1 3-pointer by Anaya Smith. Anaya Smith has been the shining star amongst the Hornets thus far this evening. She shot well from the floor. She has 13 points and 6 rebounds. White 0 for 2 at the line. But good hustle by Emmanuel on the offensive rebound. Drives to the basket, no good. And we'll have a jump ball.
Jump ball. White ball.
It'll be Alabama State basketball.
Substitution into the game, number 34.
So good hustle by Ayana Emmanuel to have a second chance at it, but she's unable to capitalize. But the possession will remain Alabama State ball. Jayla Crawford will have a seat. Courtney Lee will check in for her. Hannah White will also take a seat. Victoria Harvey is checking in as well. Emmanuel in the corner. Finds Smith. Smith to Courtney Lee. Sets the screen. Courtney Lee finds Saisha Rudolph, and she drills a much-needed 3 for Alabama State. Just the second 3-pointer of the evening. Oof, good move and good drive. And Harvey says not in her paint. She sends that shot back. So a much-needed defensive stand by Alabama State. They force the Lady Lions to reset the possession. Still 20 seconds left on the shot clock, less than a minute remaining in the third quarter. Alabama State looking to close the quarter strong. The third quarter has not gone in their favor. They've been outscored 25-13. Arkansas Pine Bluff has almost double the shot attempts in the quarter. El Hassan on the drive against Emmanuel. Tough shot, and she gets it to fall. She just can't miss right now. It's been all about her this third quarter. In the third quarter, Arkansas Pine Bluff is shooting 57%, 58%, 11 of 19. Emmanuel running the pick and roll. Tough shot, gets her own rebound. Anaya Smith for 3, off the mark. Shot clock will reset. Arkansas Pine Bluff will hold for the final attempt. It'd be a shame if they didn't ride the hot hand. El Hassan needs his ball in her hands. 6 seconds left. 5. Pull-up jumper. Well off the mark. Half-court heave. Over the backboard. And Alabama State finds himself trailing after 3 quarters. The Lady Lions lead 55-46. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the beginning of the fourth quarter, where the Lady Lions have put their foot down and overtaken Alabama State. Alabama State came out flat to begin the third quarter, and the Lady Lions were right on top of it. Aya El Hassan has led all scorers with 17. She exploded in that third quarter, and you can imagine she'll continue to try and force her way in as UAPB calls for the travel. Darden on that turnover. So Alabama State looking to capitalize in that situation. Catherine Darden leads both teams in rebounding. She has 10. Courtney Lee driving into the paint. Too strong on the layup, and it'll be a jump ball. Alabama State ball. Missed opportunity for Courtney Lee on the layup, just too strong. But they'll get a second opportunity to correct their mistake. Courtney Lee does lead the game in assists for both teams. She has 4. Anaya Smith, the recipient on a few of those baskets. Anaya Smith has led the way for the Hornets. She has 13 points. Jayla Crawford right behind her with 11.
Substitution into the game, number 3, Jayla Crawford.
Overall, both teams shooting in the high 30s. Alabama State shooting 39%. UAPB right behind them at 38.5%. However, the main difference in this game has been UAPB's higher possession count. They've gotten 11 more shots up than Alabama State, and they've seemed to make good on most of those attempts. El Hassan being the main contributor there. That'll be a reach-in foul. Jayla Atmore will pick up that one. That'll be Atmore's 4th. So she's in foul trouble. She'll take a seat. Rudolph, top of the key. 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Finds Crawford. Left side of the court. Ball is poked away. Alabama State turnover. Taylor, 2-1 fast break. And she capitalizes on the layup. You might hear the crowd calling for a carry. I'd say they have kind of a point there. UAPB playing a zone. Anaya Smith's jumper is blocked. And UAPB is back in transition. Reverse layup too strong. It'll be Alabama State ball. Alabama State is going through one of their scoring droughts right now. They've been scoreless the past 2 minutes and 38 seconds, just 1 of 5 on their last field goal attempts. More full court pressure from UAPB. Hannah White in trouble, facing a strong double team. Finds Jayla Crawford. Crawford on the drive. Crawford on the layup, no good, too strong. Tough defense, loose ball situation, and Nia Smith comes up for it. And Harris is going to get called for the foul. That'll be her 4th. Hannah White on the inbounds. White calling out a set for Alabama State. Crawford gets the ball poked away again. Breakaway layup for Taylor. Noelle Taylor, another breakaway layup. The Lions have their largest lead of the evening. 13-point advantage for them thus far. They're on a 6-0 run right now, and Alabama State is looking for answers. Time is slowly dwindling down. Hannah White for 3, off the mark. You can feel the desperation. They needed that one. We have a stoppage in play.
Substitution into the game, number 10, Courtney Lee. Inadvertent whistle, black ball.
They say it was an inadvertent whistle. They'll resume play. It'll be UAPB ball. It's another slow start for Alabama State. Just 4 points for UAPB, but Alabama State has had 4 chances at field goals. They've missed all of them. Atmore surveying. Good ball denial from Hannah White. She made that hard for El Hassan. Entry pass down low. Post spin, too strong on the layup. And Alabama State cleans up. Emmanuel on the rebound. And Courtney Lee on the drive. Count the basket and one. Courtney Lee in transition, giving Alabama State their first field goal of the fourth quarter. A much-needed basket. On the conversion of the and one, she can bring this lead down to 10. Still plenty of time remaining with 7 minutes remaining. Courtney Lee missed her 2 previous attempts at the line earlier. She corrects her mistake, converts on the and one. Atmore in trouble, facing the double team. It'll be a jump ball. It'll remain UAPB ball. Tilly will be the inbounder. Rudolph on Atmore. Atmore playing with 4 fouls. On the drive, Totten shot is blocked. Loose ball situation, another jump ball. It'll be Alabama State basketball. So a good defensive stand by the Hornets as they try to trim this deficit. That's a defensive stand that they needed. Some interesting things to make note of in this fourth quarter. Arkansas Pine Bluff has 4 players in foul trouble. Harris, Atmore, and Darden all have 4 fouls on the evening. Maybe the most important player with 4 fouls is Catherine Darden. She has 10 rebounds on the evening. You may see her come back into the game in the late game situation. Hannah White, top of the key. Hornets looking to beat the zone. Crawford takes her opponent off the dribble. She'll draw the foul and be at the line for 2 more.
Foul on play 11, shooting 2, number 10, Courtney Lee.
Amosa will be the recipient of that foul. Nisa Sam Grant checks back in as Courtney Lee will be at the line to shoot another pair of free throws. No good on the first. Alabama State has struggled from the free throw line in this game, shooting just 48% from the free throw line. No good on both free throws. Atmore on the loose ball. They'll say it's UAPB ball. 6:16 remaining here in this game. The Alabama State deficit stands at 10. Armani Smith will check in. Courtney Lee will get probably a short breather as you get down in crunch time in this afternoon game. Atmore driving towards the basket. Atmore on the layup. It's good. That's just Atmore's first bucket since the first quarter. Turnover by Alabama State. The layup is up and in. Noelle Taylor on the steal and the bucket. Another poke away. Emmanuel loses it. Atmore on the drive. Count the basket and one. Emmanuel delivering the hard foul LaJayla Atmore finds a way to put it in. You can feel the energy dwindling from this Alabama State team. Atmore still down on the ground. Might have been shaken up on that hit. That foul might be ruled a flagrant on the floor. I believe it is. Refs discussing with head coach Frida Freeman Jackson. Ooh, that's a tough basket. We'll wait for the official ruling on the floor.
Intentional foul number 0.
Still heavy discussion going on. I believe it might be ruled a flagrant. So yes, they do rule it a flagrant. At the line. First attempt, no good. Second attempt is good. Shakidra Terry 1 for 2 following the flagrant foul. Noelle Taylor on the inbound. She gives it to Harris. Sam Grant working at the top of the key. Handoff to Harris. Kick out to El Hassan. Hassan on the drive. Passes it to Taylor. Taylor pulls it back out. 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. El Hassan going right at Jayla Crawford. No good on the layup. Hannah White will direct traffic for Alabama State. Emmanuel draws the foul. It'll be a blocking foul on Noelle Taylor.
Foul on Black 24.
That'll be her third foul of the evening.
Media timeout.
And we'll have a timeout after this. Welcome back to the John Oliver Acadome here in Montgomery, Alabama, where Alabama State faces their largest deficit of the evening at 17 points. UAPB leads 66-49 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. UAPB has outscored Alabama State 11-3 in the fourth quarter, and Alabama State just cannot find an offensive rhythm. They're shooting just 1 of 5 in the fourth quarter, not how you want to close out a game. At the line, shooting a pair, it's Ayana Emanuel. She cannot cash in on the first. A rare miss. She's been off her game all evening. And things can go from bad to worse, as you can see. She does cash in the second one to knock the lead down just a bit to 16. Double team by Alabama State. Hard foul. El Hassan, the recipient of that foul. Taisha Rudolph delivering the blow. UAPB shooting 63% in the fourth quarter.
Substitution into the game, number 10, Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee checks in, presumably to close out the remainder of this game. Atmore. Crawford defending. Darden gives it back to Atmore. 18 on the shot clock. El Hassan. Back to El Hassan. Taylor, tough layup. She can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound. That'll be Alabama State ball. Catherine Darden couldn't corral it. UAPB falling back on pressure just a touch. Not applying the full court pressure they were applying earlier. Lady Lions still within the zone. Emmanuel in trouble. Kicks it out. Courtney Lee no good on the three. Jayla Crawford on the offensive rebound and draws the foul. She will be back at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Crawford has struggled at the line tonight, just 5 of 10 on the evening. That foul will be on El Hassan, her 4th of the evening. Something to make note of with 4 minutes remaining. A large deficit for Alabama State, but you do it by sinking free throws, which is not happening this evening. Hornet shooting just 46% on free throws. Crawford doesn't make either free throw, and the Hornets come up empty on that trip. Taylor Akerson is set to check in for Alabama State. I'll look to see who that foul was on. Jayla Crawford's going to come out of the game. That foul will go against El Hassan. So Aya El Hassan is fouled out of this game. But with 4 minutes remaining and a 16-point deficit, I think head coach Dawn Brown will be happy with her performance this evening. Her and Noelle Taylor led the way offensively for the Lady Lions. They each had 17 points apiece. Emmanuel sinks her first free throw. Ayana Emmanuel, not the prettiest game. 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3. She has made good on majority of her free throw attempts as she goes 2 for 2 at the line. Harris in trouble. Hornets force the foul, but Akerson couldn't hold on to the ball. Fast break opportunity. Taylor Noel. Ooh, she converts on the and one, draws the foul, and it just hasn't been the Hornets' second half that they wanted to have. Give credit where credit is due. Arkansas Pine Bluff made the correct adjustments at halftime, and since they've taken control. This all started when Alabama State got off to that slow start in the third quarter, and they just haven't been able to find their footing since. Again, credit the halftime adjustments. They've done what needs to be done to have this depth, to have this lead. Noel Taylor at the line in an attempt to convert the and one, and it is no good. Emmanuel finds Courtney Lee. Akerson. Emmanuel kicks it out. Taylor Akerson on the three. Too strong. Ball will travel out of bounds, and it will go to UAPB with 3:21 remaining in this game. So time starting to become a factor. Harris in trouble. And head coach Don Brown will call a timeout. We'll be back after this short break here on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where Alabama State is deep in the hole against UAPB. The second half has not gone their way at all, and they find themselves facing a 16-point deficit with 3:18 remaining in this game. Atmore facing pressure by Emmanuel. The Lady Lions in kill clock mode. They're slowly advancing their way to 2-1 in conference play, and that'll snap Alabama State's, the Lady Hornets, 2-game winning streak. The Hornets would split their 2-game homestand. They will be on the road against Alabama and A&M January 18th. That'll be part of a 3-game road trip. They'll be at Alabama A&M, Southern, and Alcorn State. Taylor. Free throw line jumper, no good. It'll be Alabama State ball.
Substitution into the game, number 1, Taisha Rudolph.
Taisha Rudolph is going to check in for Taylor Akerson. Rudolph kicks it back to Courtney Lee. Courtney Lee with a full head of steam. Passes it to Emmanuel. Emmanuel no good on the rebound. Offensive rebound by Alabama State. And both teams in the bonus, so we'll have a pair of free throws.
Foul on the shot clock, 11, shooting 2.
That foul will be on Amusa. Alabama State went through a rough shooting stretch, shooting just 1 of 9 over their last 9 attempts. The three ball has not been there for Alabama State, shooting just 15% on the evening. 2 of 13. Anaya Smith and Taisha Rudolph made the only 2 3-pointers of the evening.
Substitution into the game, number 12, Brianna Howard.
First free throw attempt is good.
First shot good.
Second attempt is good. So Taisha Rudolph goes 2 for 2 at the line.
Substitution into the game, number 15, Keani Berry.
Keani Berry, check in for Rudolph. So both coaches presumably getting ready to put in their reserves as time dwindles down. Atmore leaves that shot well short. She'll get it back. Shot clock did not reset. Atmore on the drive. Count the basket and one. Jayla Atmore putting the finishing touches in what looks to be a good win for UAPB. Atmore on the evening, 9 points, 3 of 10 from the field. She's been playing with 4 fouls for quite some time. Atmore converts on the and one opportunity. She's made 3 of her last 4 attempts. Three-pointer for Hannah White, off the mark. Offensive rebound by Alabama State, and we'll have a pair of free throws. Kiana Howard will be at the line. Checking into the game for the first time this evening. She'll be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Howard, the 5'7" redshirt sophomore out of Pennsylvania.
Shooting 2, number 12, Kiana Howard.
On the season, she's made just 1 attempt, so these will be her first pair of free throws on the season. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time this season. Just 42 minutes overall this year. Officials trying to address a wet spot on the floor, make sure everything is nice and dry. This is just the first game of our doubleheader tonight. Of course, the men follow up right after this. The men are following a successful outing against Mississippi Valley State. They came away on top, the score 81-75. They got off to a hot start in that first half, and Mississippi Valley came storming back, but they held on to their lead to maintain that win. The men are 1-2 in SWAC conference play thus far. Let's see Howard make the first free throw. Howard is 2 for 2 at the line. And we'll have a timeout on the floor. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the closing part of what looks to be an Alabama State loss against the UAPB Lady Lions. The Hornets started out the game strong, but after the first half, the Lady Lions made halftime adjustments that Alabama State could not overcome. The third quarter looked to be particularly dreadful for the Hornets. They got outscored 27-13 in the third quarter. The Lady Lions shooting 55%. tough Euro, but the foul is drawn. Kiana Howard will go back to the line to shoot another pair of free throws. Alabama State scored just 13 points in the third quarter. Here in the fourth quarter, they've scored 10. They've been outscored in the fourth quarter 16-10. The shooting percentage, woeful. Shooting 1 of 9 in the quarter, just 11%. UAPB, on the other hand, 54% in the fourth quarter. First free throw good for Howard. Howard is 2 for 2 once again. Harris facing the double team. And you can see the offhand charge get called. But a little too late for the Lady Hornets with 1 minute and 36 seconds remaining in this one. They're playing for pride and for coaching opportunities. Maybe they can take something out of this game and apply it in their next game when they go on the road to face Alabama A&M. Hannah White. No good on the layup. One of the rare misses from Anaya Smith. Smith stood up at the rim. Offensive rebound. Smith goes back up. Met at the rim again. That's some size you can't really go up against. That's Nisa Sam Grant standing tall in the paint for UAPB. Pine Bluff working the clock. Sam Grant. Good entry pass. The give and go leads to a drawn foul. And Jayla Atmore will be at the line to shoot another pair of free throws. That foul on Taisha Rudolph. Less than a minute to go here in the Don Oliver Acadome. Home crowd slowly starting to build in anticipation for the men's game shortly after this one. Atmore good on the first free throw. Atmore good on both free throws on the evening. She now has 12 points on the night. She is 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Winding down the final seconds of this game. Taisha Rudolph on the drive. Grant stands tall. Darisha Randall up and in on the layup. Grant, top of the key, hands back to Atmore. They're saying it's a 5-second violation, but yeah, that's the call on the fourth. So it'll be Alabama State basketball here in the final seconds of this first game of our doubleheader here at the Don Oliver Acadome. Darisha Randall for 3, off the mark. Hannah White with the steal. Strong layup attempt. So at the line, shooting a pair of free throws.
Shooting 2, number 24, Hannah White.
It'll be Hannah White.
Jayla Atmore is fouled out of this competition on the evening. She's laid her mark down. She ended the night with 12 points, 3 of 10 shooting, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. White just 1 of 5 on the evening from the line. Gets the bounce there. Push that to 2 of 6 on the evening. Head coach Freeman Jackson wants to talk it over for the final 6 seconds of this game. We'll be back after this short intermission. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. Welcome back to the dwindling seconds of our doubleheader, our first game of our doubleheader here at the Dunn Oliver Ack Dome. The UAPB Lady Lions have successfully made the second half adjustments, and they look to take home a road win against a conference opponent. Outlet pass too strong, but Tilly able to corral it, and that'll be the end of this one. The final score in this one, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff 73, your Alabama State Hornets 62. Anaya Smith led the way for the Lady Hornets with 13 points on the evening, shooting 6 of 13 and 9 rebounds. Ayana Emanuel, an off night for her. She scored just 9 points, 1 of 7 from the field, 7 of 8 from the field, and 5 turnovers. Crawford, a strong start in the first half, but could not keep that momentum in the second half. She ended the night with 11 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 5 of 13 from the free throw line, and that was just one of the many issues for Alabama State in this outing. UAPB got a strong push from their 2 guard forward combo of Noelle Taylor and Aya El Hassan. Stay tuned with the Hornet Sports Network. After a short break, we'll be back with the men's game. The men of Alabama State University will face off in the final game. That game starts at 8 o'clock. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back after a short intermission here at the Dunn Oliver Ack Dome.